Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have terrible luck for the next week.
Buried valuables worth millions of dollars seem to be one of those stories straight out of adventurous movies, but they exist. While some were buried for safety reasons, others were preserved to be handled to a new king. Stick around to know more about 10 of the biggest treasures ever discovered. Number 10. Priceless Bactrian gold. Before the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, a Soviet-Afghan team of archaeologists was excavating at Tilla Tepe when they found something novel. If they knew that Tilla Tepe was a Persian name for Golden Hill, they wouldn't have been too amazed at their discovery. The site had 6 burial mounds for a man and 5 women who were possibly his wife. The man was buried with a gold plate, a long sword, 2 bows, a leather folding horse, and a horse's bones. The women were buried with precious stones too. After digging, they found about 21,000 items comprising precious stones, gold, coins, silver, and ivory. The objects dated as far back as 100 BC and included a crown, belts, medallions, and necklaces. The graves contain the first examples of nomadic art found in Afghanistan. During the Afghanistan Wars, this hoard disappeared only to resurface in 2003. It belonged to the Uezi dynasty and remained undisturbed for 2 millennia. Authorities say a new museum will be built in Kabul to safeguard them. Number 9. The priceless Panagarishte treasure. On December 8, 1949, Petko, Pavel, and Mikhail Daykov searched for clay in a ceramic factory when they found strange objects near Panagarishte, Bulgaria. At first, they thought it was some hidden gypsy brass instrument, but the brothers took all the items to the mayor's office for confirmation. After examination, they found that the whistles were a solid gold ceremonial drinking horn used in the 4th century BC. They also excavated gold vases, golden decanters, and golden dishes. 4 of the vessels are rhytons, which is a ritual cup for sanctifying wine. Over 6.164 kilograms of 24-karat gold were exposed and were thought to belong to the Thracian king Zeus II. Each of the objects was skillfully decorated with Thracian costumes, myths, and life. Like other precious items, they were buried to prevent invasions by the Macedonians or Celts. You can find these items at the Plovdiv Regional Historical Museum and some of the famous museums in the world. Number 8. Priceless Sisera sunken treasure. In February 2015, a violent storm swept off Israel's Mediterranean coastline. The next day, Zvika Fayer, a scuba diver, was strolling around the ancient port town when he caught a spectacular sight. He thought it was a candy wrapper or chocolate coins as he drew closer, but when he swept the sand away, he saw differently. There were gold coins scattered around the sea floor, most of which had Arabic script on both sides. They were minted during the reigns of Caliphs al-Hakim between 996 to 1021 AD. At the time, Caesarea was part of the Islamic Fatimid dynasty just before the First Crusade in 1095 AD. The town flourished in 400 BC as a Greek and Phoenician trading post. Within the period, they were ruled by Queen Cleopatra. When Rome conquered the territory, Herod the Great seized power, and by 6 AD, it became the capital of Roman province. Over 2,000 coins were dug up and were all at 24 karat with a purity of 95%. Instead of taking the valuables home as some dubious persons would, he contacted the Caesarea officials who took up the investigation. Number 7. St. Albans hoard valued at £100,000. Wesley Carrington visited the shop in September 2012 and bought a metal detector. He needed to use them for hunting coins on a farm field. While he thought he'd find pockets of them here and there, he was amazed to find more. He saw the largest hoard of Roman gold coins to be discovered in Great Britain. Wesley returned to the shop to report his findings to the shop owner, who then contacted the find's liaison officer. One gem that is hard to overlook is a 159 Roma Solidi, which dates back to the 4th century AD. It was during this year that the Roman occupation of Britain came to an abrupt end. These coins were manufactured during Valentinian II, Honorius, Emperors Gratian, Theodosius, and Arcadius' reign. They're far more valuable than regular silver and bronze coins. It's believed they were put in an organic container like a cloth bag or wooden box, which is now decayed. The 4th century saw Albans as one of the most important Roman towns of Verulamium. David Terrell asserts that the coins were buried as a sacrifice to the gods or to keep wealth safe from potential threats. Number 6. The Surdale hoard valued at $3.2 million. A group of workers were repairing the embankment of the River Ribble in Curdale on May 15, 1940 when they found one of the largest Vikings hoard. It was in a lead box near Preston, England. The finding comprised more than 8,600 items, including jewelry, silver ingots, and silver coins. The assemblage weighed about 40 kilograms. Although most of them were manufactured in eastern England, they came from Byzantium, Italy, and Scandinavia. Jewels were likely buried between 903 AD and 910 AD when the Vikings were dislodged from Dublin. Shockingly, Preston had funny folklore to justify the discovery. Legend has it that anyone who stands on the south bank of River Ribble and looks upriver will find out the richest treasure in England. The reserves were handed over to Queen Victoria, who distributed them to 170 recipients. The British Museum got the largest share of the items. It is believed that hoards from the Viking Age were never discovered because the person who buried them was either captured or killed in the war. Number 5. Hogsney Hoard, valued at $3.8 million. On November 16, 1992, Peter Watling, a tenant farmer, lost his hammer in a farm field southwest of Hackney in Suffolk, England. Asked his friend Eric Laws to use his metal detector to help find it. As Laws went out in search of it, he found something more incredible. He saw gold jewelry, gold and silver coins, and silver spoons. He alerted the authorities, and a team of archaeologists was immediately dispatched to the site for excavation. The professionals unearthed the largest hoard of Roman gold and silver discovered in Britain. It is also the most robust collection of 4th and 5th century coins found anywhere around the Roman Empire. The scientists further broke down the content of the discovery to include 24 bronze coins, 14,272 silver coins, 98 silver spoons and ladles, and 4 pepper pots. After England's Treasure Valuation Committee valued these items, the fee was paid to Watling and Laws. The articles are displayed at the British Museum in London to this day. Watling's hammer is also a sight to behold. Number 4. Staffordshire Hoard, valued at $4.1 million. On July 5, 2009, Terry Herbert, an amateur hunter, searched a newly plowed farm near Staffordshire, England, when his metal detector pinged. After taking permission from the landowner, he began an intensive digging that lasted for 5 days. Dug up over 3,500 objects from the ground within the period. The items consisted solely of military objects, including 5.1 kilograms of gold, 1.4 kilograms of silver, and precious garnets. The garnets are said to have originated from Afghanistan or Sri Lanka. They were most likely manufactured in the 6th and 7th centuries when the location was part of the Anglo-Saxon kingdom of Mercia. The objects were probably buried in 875 AD to avoid looting from the Vikings. As of November 2009, the hoard was valued at £3.285 million, and the Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery had to raise the money to purchase it. After 3 weeks, they raised the amount, and the objects are currently displayed there. Number 3. The Saddle Ridge Hoard, valued at $10 million. In February 2013, a North California couple were strolling with their dog on a rural property when they caught a remarkable sight. They saw a large rusty can. After careful examination, they discovered that it contained gold coins. With a metal detector, they uncovered 8 more containing about 1,427 gold coins dating between 1847 to 1894. They also noticed 1 more tin hanging from the tree and another on a nearby hillside. They made several trips to the same site, and for every visit, they found more jewel-filled cans. The coins were in $20, $10, and $5 denominations. When the duo contacted a numismatics firm in California, they learned that most of the coins were uncirculated and mint. One of the finest double eagles from this hoard is estimated at $1 million. The location of the land and couple's identity has been kept a secret for security reasons. However, the couple hopes to use the money from the sale of the coins to help the needy in society.
Now it's time for today's best pick.
This image was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across an image on the internet and want to know more about it, please send it to us. We'll analyze it and possibly feature it in our next video. Number 2. Schroeder Treasure, valued at $120 million. On June 8, 1885, a group of laborers were demolishing an old building in Środoslawka, a Polish town, where they found a vase containing over 3,000 silver coins traced to the 14th century. After this revelation, locals scouted the area searching for similar gems. They found a golden crown that likely belonged to Emperor Charles IV's first wife. There are also 2 gold pendants from the 13th century, sapphire ring, precious stones, and medieval gold clasp. After due research, they realized that the jewels belonged to Emperor Charles IV, who had pawned it to Musho, a Jewish banker, to raise funds to support his claims to the Roman throne.
Before we move on, I have a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. Just leave a like on the video, smash the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of good luck. Try it. It really works.
Number 1. The Lacatallon II hoard, valued at over £10 million. In the early 1980s, Reg Med and Richard Miles, who were metal detection enthusiasts, saw a woman who told them a strange story. Her father, who was a farmer on the British Islands, discovered some silver coins while plowing the fields. She didn't know the exact location, but left a clue. Both men approached the farmer, who permitted them to search the farm once a year after he harvested his crops. The manhunt for the wealth wasn't as easy as it seemed. They continued searching until June 2012 when they found some coins. They called in professional archaeologists to examine the 68,000 coins, which were said to be buried between 30 BC and 40 BC by French Celts. The hoarded items contained all sorts of open-ended necklaces, gold neck torques, and glass beads. The Celts were probably fleeing from the Roman invasion and had to hide their riches there. This remains the largest hoard of gold jewelry and coins ever discovered. And there you have it. These are 10 of the biggest treasures ever discovered. Feel free to add to this list by leaving a comment in the box below. Like and subscribe to this channel for the latest updates. Until another scintillating episode comes your way, sayonara.